Welcome, everybody, for another week of Beer and Bullshit with Jason Boissonneau, Corey McGee. Tonight, we are hanging out with Joel and Eric from Featherweight. Featherweight's a new hardcore band here in Timmins. Can we call you guys hardcore? I don't know where to, pigeonhole you guys now.
Thanks for
heard
pigeonholing us.
Well, every band's got to be pigeonholed, right?
To be honest, I don't think you could really pigeonhole us. That's why we wrote pop punk hardcore, which I guess easycore. I guess that's a thing. That's kind of a thing.
Easycore?
That's actually a thing. But
Jay, what do you think when you hear
Popcore.
the words easycore? I feel like I'm telling John Core to settle down. Easycore.
Easycore.
Easy.
Yeah, you know what? I don't know what easycore would be. Yeah.
What,
Was it just a softer hardcore?
I was thinking softcore, but then that's getting into a completely different realm
type stuff.
Yeah.
Emmanuel in space.
Softcore punk.
Okay, now I know we're not much like this, but think a day to remember. They have a mix of pop punk and hardcore.
Sure.
And so easycore is in. It's easy to listen to, but it's still got some hardcore elements to it.
Okay. So you guys got the scream vocal on top of the melodic stuff, and I guess for any music nerds out there, it's a lot more major scale.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. Just no full frontal nudity and no penetration.
All tits, no bush.
Exactly.
right.
Like Bleu Nuit.
Oh man, that takes me back. Bleu Nuit.
Oh,
when was the last time that was on the air?
Don't even get me started on that. Kids these days don't even know how good they have it.
It's true. These days it's so easy to come across pornography.
I know.
Yeah.
I mean, I used to have to find it in the nature trail when I was a kid. And it's like, really? Who leaves porno in the nature trails?
Yeah. And it was left behind by some kids from 2 or 3 years ago that also went through that same rite of passage. So it was, it was quite the struggle to have to get our pornography when we were little kids. So that said, that was a great introduction to you guys and your softcore punk. But so you guys have been a band for how long now? And I think you guys have been working on your projects for quite some time, right?
Well, yeah. The thing is, me and Dave have been playing guitar for as long as I can remember playing guitar. So
oh shit, man!
We learned to play guitar together, honestly. So we lived together for a year. Maybe, we just moved out a few months ago. So for the year that we lived together, we were writing music. And so we had about 3 or 4 songs, maybe even 5 written before we even had a band together. So we've been jamming those songs for 6, 7, 8 months before we even started jamming. So technically the band wasn't a band, but we were already we knew those songs in the back of our hand already. But then we just got together with the boys. I mean, when we saw Joel play a bunch of times, and then obviously decided to give him a shout, start talking to him a little bit more. He was stoked to get in on the project, and then we just needed a bassist and a drummer, and where better to look than the bassist and the drummer that's in every other band. So he just decided to go with the run-of-the-mill bassist and drummer combo.
Oh, they're gonna love that. They're gonna love that you called them run-of-the-mill bassists and drummers.
Insert drummer here.
Oh man. So no, and I guess you guys kind of came together from just the crowd that comes out to the music.
Yeah, exactly.
Live music here in Timmins, right? So it's just it's kind of a natural thing. You tend to fraternize with.
I think it was a New Year's Eve last year. I drunkenly stumbled into the class and ran into Eric, and I was like, man, we gotta jam together, and let's do something. It was some stupid drunken rambling about how I really wanted to play music. And he was sober as a judge, probably, And I was like, let's jam, let's play together. We'd known each other. We started to talk about music a lot when he'd come to see my band play, or vice versa, or we went and see other bands play, and I think it was just me persistently bugging him to jam, and finally he said, Dave and I have this project we want to do. If you're on board for singing, let's do it. And I was like, yeah. So we started writing vocals. Like he said, he had about 4 or 5 songs already done. We got together, started writing vocals for it before we even had drummer and bass. And eventually we got to the point where okay, we need to find drummer and bass so we could actually do this.
Actually, oddly enough, we got your cousin Sebastian.
Oh, okay.
I called him up in Cornwall and said, hey, look, we got a cool project coming up. We got a bunch of vocals written. We need some drum tracks. No, we're like,
we tried.
Okay.
We knew he had his Roland electric kit there, so we said, well, you know what? I'm going to call him up, see if he can just hook up a shitty old auxiliary cable to his computer and make some really terrible drum tracks just so we can jam with
right?
the drummer, basically. So we decided we got him to record the first song we wrote, Go Get 'Em Tiger, and then we jammed that in Joel's mom's basement with a track drummer. It was fantastic. A few times, and honestly, basically, like, we were like, all right, we need a drummer.
It was so bad that we just decided never to do that again.
Like, you can't look over to the drummer and say, okay, slow down 10 dB, you know, it's just some computer playing in the corner. No, man, that's a cool, like, that sounds a little different than the way most bands have kind of come together. Like, obviously you guys knew each other socially and were able to start jamming and talking about jamming and writing songs, but this idea that, you know, you were so desperate to play to play not acoustic music, I guess.
Yeah.
So you throw a drummer through, you know, through distance and recording on an electric kit. But the one thing that I did want to say, because I did get a chance to listen to your EP, and anybody who's listening to this who hasn't checked out Featherweight's EP, self-titled, right? Okay.
Yep.
Self-titled EP on their, is it featherweight.bandcamp.com?
Featherweight Punk.
featherweightpunk.bandcamp.com. And you can check out the EP. It's a free download. And the one thing I did notice about it, and you talked about writing vocal parts to it, is the harmonies between, even when you're both singing clean vocals, it just sounds like outstanding, like dead on. I don't know if there's some little bit of cheating in the recording process on that, but
there's a little bit of pitch correction. There's a bit.
Who
But to be
uses
honest,
pitch correction?
Admittedly, I mean, we didn't need a whole ton of it, but there was a little bit.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna lie about it.
No, but it was it's spot on, and even the performance you guys gave on 92 on Rock, not to piss off our good friend Ryan Daly.
I totally.
You guys made that fucking same
Q92
mistake too.
You mean Q92?
Yeah, Q92. They're in the studio when they fucked that up.
Yeah, he might have made a face behind the camera or something.
Yeah. Looks at you like, what the fuck, guys? It's right there. It's written on every fucking sign.
He gave me the finger.
Well, I saw that the acoustic performance you guys did, and it was like the melodies again, just really.
It was mesmerizing, wasn't it?
Yeah. No, it was great, and you guys really nailed all those harmonized vocals. It was awesome. I'm really excited to see you guys play tonight, and I should mention that we are hanging out. Where are we hanging out here tonight? Tell us where we're hanging out.
All right, thanks for. Okay, I'll do the token
to pitch to you,
just so I can say something. Awesome. Jesus Christ. I was like I was saying before. Originally, the idea of the podcast is two of us can debate and have some people on, and Corey decided this would be the perfect way to, I guess, wants to get a broadcasting career. So he's like, I'm going to take over. I'm going to do everything.
The Corey McGee Show.
Jesus Christ.
That's what I've renamed it. He still thinks it's called Beer and Bullshit.
Yeah, exactly.
Everywhere it says Corey McGee Hour.
And surprisingly, his band LaForge is actually McGee and the One Percenters. Just he hasn't told anybody that yet. So,
who are also playing here tonight.
Shameless plug.
Yeah, no shit, man.
Tonight we are at the Working Class. On I actually don't know what the address of the place is.
It's on
180 2nd Avenue.
180 2nd Avenue. There you go. So yeah, no, it's pretty cool. I guess doors open at 9:30. Not like this is live, and if when people hear this, they'll know. But we were here before shit goes down. So yeah.
So if you're listening to this and it's the first time you've ever heard of Featherweight, you missed a great show and a great party. Providing there's no huge disaster here tonight, like, you know, the place fucking caving in.
Knock on wood, I guess.
Then that's probably a bigger news story.
Laminate, whatever. There's some particle board in there somewhere.
Yeah. Wood and glue.
So tell us a little bit more about the recording process and writing your album or your 2-song EP that you guys just recently put out. Tell us a little more about how this whole thing kind of came together from now you got your songs written, you got your band together, you're ready to start getting this stuff together to put out. Well, what was the process in starting to do that?
Well, we recorded drums with this horrible engineer.
Yeah, fucking asshole.
He was brutal. Didn't know what he was doing. Had the worst equipment. Just, one of those like grumpy sound guy types. Yeah,
that's exactly what I was gonna say.
It was just brutal.
I heard it was a bad experience.
It was a really bad experience.
Joel wasn't even
there. and I'm traumatized by it. No, we obviously we did drums with you, Corey.
Yeah, we had a lot of fun.
Pooped and hammered.
the Scoop and Hammer Studios in my basement.
Yeah.
That was a lot of fun. I felt like it was done in pure like Corey McGee fashion. It was just rushed. Okay, guys, we got 4 hours to set up and play 3 songs. And Pat, you better nail every single fucking take. And because I'm going to the cottage after this.
And we only recorded 2.
Yeah, and you only ended up with 2 in the end of it all.
I mean, originally it started out as we just, let's track some songs, get something out as a demo. We knew we weren't planning on putting out an EP or a full length, anything stupid like that. We haven't played our first show. Tonight's our first show. So we knew, let's get something out so people could hear us, at least get it out a little bit before the show, and so we actually look like a real band. And it was pretty fairly organic process. We got together with you, did the drums. We worked with Mike Whalen for the rest of the tracking, and he did the mixing, and everything seemed to go pretty smooth. Like, it was actually, it was a drawn-out process, but we all work, so it's like it's not like we can get in and just record the songs, finish them in one day kind of thing.
Yeah, exactly.
One day we'd go in and do the drums like we did with you. The next day, or a couple weeks later, we go and do the guitar, and whenever we were available, we'll do the bass and then vocals and vice versa. Right?
Oddly enough, the part of recording that usually takes the longest took the shortest amount of time, and that's vocals.
Yeah,
because usually it takes a while to record vocals.
Fuck yeah!
Pat myself on the back for
Good
that
job,
one.
guys.
We need a couple takes,
one take.
One night is what it took, and it was like 3.5 hours, which was pretty good.
That's pretty
did not
decent.
take that long.
Yeah. That
for the
usually
amount of
takes a long
vocals
time.
that's actually in our music and the amount of things that we're doing, all the trade-offs and all that, and all the timing and stuff, it actually went surprisingly well for that part. Anyway.
Nice. So is this like this kind of music that you guys are playing? Is this something that you've always kind of been into this kind of music, or is it just this is a new kind of experiment for you?
Honestly, for me personally, if you'd have a look at my Spotify playlist right now.
It's your own band?
On that spot. All I have is Featherweight. No.
Those 2 songs on repeat.
No, but honestly, I have a mix of... I have maybe a few acoustic bands and styles, a couple folk artists, I have a couple death metal, and then the entire, 95% of my Spotify is either hardcore punk, melodic hardcore, stuff like Belvedere and Wilhelm Scream and stuff like that. And we're, it's... Okay, maybe those songs don't sound that influenced by that, but you'll hear tonight that later on we're starting to kind of get into our groove. It's a little more on the hardcore side, I'd say, actually, but we're leaning more towards a melodic hardcore kind of punk kind of genre instead of having that pop punk kind of edge. We're gonna write, we really want to write a few pop punk songs in between, just to keep it fresh, to make sure that you don't come up with all yelling and all hardcore all the time. But for me, almost the only genre of music that I listen to. It's heavily influenced by bands like 4 Year Strong, stuff like that, where they played in the major key for their first album entirely. And like I said, Wilhelm Scream and, a lot of other bands, Mute, stuff like that. It's got that kind of, fast but melodic and still has some cool riffs and stuff.
Yeah.
We still got some pop punk stuff going on, but
sure.
It's different. For me, it was I listen to a lot of pop punk. I'm into pop punk. I love 4 Year Strong. I love Belvedere, like Eric mentioned. But I've never been in a pop punk band. So to write vocals and to get into a pop punk band, it was completely out of my comfort zone. I've only been in quote unquote hardcore or screamo bands kind of thing, right? I sing and I've done a lot of singing in the bands, but 90% of the vocals I've done is screaming. And the way I write is, to that type of style,
that
right?
Same kind of music,
and it was, Eric sings like an angel, so I had to obviously step my game up and be all right, I'm gonna
have a very beautiful voice.
He does. It's beautiful. I listen to his voice on repeat. I cut mine out of the track and I just listen to him to fall asleep at night. It's just glorious. But getting into this band.
Someone does that, because I do that too.
Listen to your own voice?
Of course.
Yeah.
I'm gonna hire him to sing to my kids so they can fall asleep.
But yeah, it was really different getting into this band. I feel like now I'm getting into my stride. I still have the odd time where I struggle. Our newest song, I just, for the life of me, it was taking me forever to write. So I got Eric to help me quite a bit with it. And at first it was definitely, wow, this is weird, because I'm in another band. I'm in a hardcore band, and it's straight up metalcore or hardcore, right? It's not there's no pop element to any of my other band's songs, and which is cool, which is what why I was so happy to get into this project, because I didn't want to get into another project that sounded like the other bands that I've in currently or have been in before.
Yeah.
You know, it would just be boring. So
like you mentioned too, that we have a lot of vocals or a lot of harmonies and stuff. And something that Joel mentions a lot is that it's extremely, extremely refreshing to play in a band where there's another vocalist that can keep a tune, because first of all, everybody knows that you need more than one voice in a band for it to be like a live band.
That's a lie. Nope.
You don't need it. You don't need it.
I don't even put up any other mics for anybody else to say anything. Never
true.
mind singer.
you just do that because Mitch is a better singer than you, and you know it.
That's very true. Mitch is a better singer.
The thing is that's the thing. But like, I mean, it's not necessary, but it does fill up the sound quite nicely. And the thing is, for pop punk, that kind of style, if you want to make it complete, if you want to be a live band that's good, that you're proud of, put one vocal in there, it's okay. It's like the first time we saw We Were Sharks. I saw them at Heart of Gold.
Yeah.
They had a brand new lineup, 6 members, crowded stage, hard show to play when it's your first time playing with a new band. You see them the first time, they had one vocalist and he was doing everything. Now, with the second time we saw them upstairs, they had all of the harmonies, and the show was just so much better. It filled everything out so nicely. You get everything they had on the record almost. You could hear it.
Nice.
And that was nice. And they all kind of rotate through like 3 different singers to do the harmonies. So that's something that, first of all, as a singer, I've always been in bands where I've fronted. I've always been in bands where I was the guy who was singing all the time, and who I either had, you know, a couple vocals here and there to help me out, or none at all.
Yeah.
And when you got that kind of like, it's not pressure, because I still sing a hell of a lot in this band, but when you got only your vocals to rely on to carry the whole tune, you feel like there's a lack in your instrument after that, when you're always kind of like, I don't feel like I could do everything that I could be doing, like maybe like the little riffage that you're going to see going on. It's just a lot more
playing
technical.
chords a little more.
You know, it's going to be, because it's hard to sing and play all this crazy stuff. But now having him, I mean, this guy can carry a tune. He's got an awesome scream, and then we can just kind of work together. And like Joel mentions all the time, it's really nice to have somebody to harmonize and be able to find that harmony. And just kind of work
great.
together.
The way you guys talk about your band, it's like a finely tuned machine.
A well-oiled machine.
I like to think that it is.
Just like my muscles.
They talk like they like each other, unlike you guys.
We do.
We fucking hate each other so much. we finish the song, we just look at each other with disdain, like, when's this fucking thing gonna end? No, I love Mitch, Pat, and Watson. They're great. They're great.
That sounded entirely
they're
true.
awesome.
That sounded a little bit forced.
Well, we're stoked to have you guys on the podcast here, and we usually, kind of hang out and drink beer and talk shit. And I don't think we have as much time as we usually have tonight, but we're gonna have a good time with you guys. You guys up on current events?
I try my best. I don't have cable or watch the news.
Well, here's a current event for you.
I've got a 4-year-old, and if the TV's on, Paw Patrol's rocking, bud.
Fuck,
yeah, I know.
Like having kids, just like.
I mean, if you want to do the pop-up boogie, we're good to go. But
you don't have kids. Jay doesn't have kids. They don't understand the struggle that we go through having to listen to this shit. It's horrible.
I love my daughter.
Oh, of course.
I love her, but she's retarded.
You have to show her this in like 10 years, man.
I've always said it. It's, what's the difference between a 7-year-old and a mentally retarded adult? Because usually they say, oh, this adult or this mentally retarded adult has the IQ of a 7-year-old.
That's right.
So really, kids are just slow adults.
That's absolutely
and slow
true.
Adults are kids.
It's very true.
Yeah.
They're retarded in their development.
Yeah.
Simple as that.
I keep up pretty good though. Like, I mean, I do try to get as much news into me as possible. You gotta stay current, right? You can't let the world go by and not know what's happening.
Oh, Christ! Especially like, I feel like we've been taking to like local news a lot more.
I agree.
On our podcast, and I don't know. I feel like
I've noticed that.
Yeah, and we tried to kind of even when we first started the podcast, it was all centered around like this idea that we were going to focus on a lot of municipal issues and local issues, and not just issues, but also cool shit going on in the community.
Was that the original thought? I don't know.
It's because I think it was because we would sit and like at my place, and we'd watch fucking like real cool kids, and watch city council meetings and fucking yell at each other.
Shitty council meeting?
Shitty council meetings.
Oh, shitty walk.
Oh, shitty airline.
But it kind of blossomed and evolved into this idea that, you know, we were going to kind of highlight a lot of cool shit that was going on in the community. So, I mean, I was going to say one local event. You guys got added to Heart of Gold Fest.
Yeah.
Coming up.
Yeah, we're stoked.
March 24th to April 1st.
25th.
25th.
Yep. Yeah, and we're actually playing the opening date.
Oh,
25th.
sweet.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah. So it'll be a good time. Yeah. And I mean, Heart of Gold was amazing last year. Obviously, John and the working class guys, they know it. They're assholes, but I mean, they put on a good show. And we're honored to be put on. I mean, especially being a new band.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Obviously, it's hard to get on a spot when something big like that's happening, and the fact that he's taken, you know, given us a chance to do that, we're super grateful.
We hadn't played yet, and they added us. So
yeah,
we got a lot to prove.
We got a lot to prove.
So we may not be playing after tonight.
It's gonna go like shit, and then everything just fucking goes out the door.
Exactly.
But yeah, it should be cool. We got opening night, and it's gonna be a Saturday, which is nice. And also, everybody won't have the time to be too tired yet from the festival. I mean, people will still be stoked at the end of the festival, but we got a pretty prime time spot, I think. Personally.
I like the way that things are
nice.
kind of scheduled for this. How it's sporadically throughout the week.
Yeah.
You know, I feel like anybody who's going to be coming out to this, it kind of gives it a little bit more of a relaxed feel, less like one, you know, focused, I guess, and maybe allows for other stuff to go on in between as well. So
because I missed both the day shows last year because I was fucking done. There's just no way. Like you go out on the Friday night, you're like, yeah, I'm stoked, and then the Saturday afternoon, it's like 2:00, you wake up and there's a show at 3. You're like, no, that's just not fucking happening. So then you have to wait till like 7 for that night. So I missed both the day shows. I mean, it's not a big deal, but it is cool that at least the people who go, and like during the week, it's not like you're not going to go that hard in the week anyways, you know, you got to work and stuff. So
I don't know.
Well, I don't know about McGee. Maybe McGee.
We do beer
Speak for yourself.
We do beer bullshits on Tuesday
nights.
usually, and sort of stumbled my way up to bed and lie down. I said, okay, I gotta sleep this off. Wake up the next day. And
our last one at Full Beard, I was.
Yeah, you're fucking
I was feeling it.
Smack.
Oh, I was half cut, halfway through. Thank God I was getting a ride.
I was driving that night, so I took it easy.
Johnny took care of you guys, eh?
Oh, fuck yeah.
Nice.
Yeah. Have you guys been there yet?
I haven't been. I haven't had the chance. No.
You guys got to go.
Really?
I've tried 5 o'clock Shadow at some of the places that were carrying it, but I haven't been able to get into to the brewery yet.
I got to say, it's nice to see new businesses, and actually, I'll give props to the working class as well. You know, when they took over, they actually changed up the decor. They made it their own. So I'll give them all props. With the guys at Full Beard, you know, like they could have went half-assed, but they made it look nice. Like it looks,
it's fucking beautiful.
It's nice. You wouldn't expect it from most. Like if you've seen that building before,
so
you wouldn't think that's what it
like
looked.
Conrad's video, man.
No, man, doesn't look like my chair at all.
No.
What was it? It was what video?
Conrad's video, bud.
Video, yeah.
You can't rent videos.
You can't get laser disc anymore there.
No.
No, it kind of the only thing is I noticed this after when I was editing the video to put on YouTube is I felt it looked like Walter White's meth lab.
Yeah, just those big canisters in the back.
All the big tanks.
Yeah.
Nice.
And it was we had a lot of fun there. And if you guys like strong beer, their IPA is fucking great. Like really, really good. Like you were talking about being a beer snob earlier. I would it sounds to me like that would be a beer snob's beer.
Awesome.
Like it was great. You'll have to try that out. The Drop Bear IPA. Even their brown ale was good too. Yeah.
I was a fan of the brown ale, and did they have the switcheroo when we were there?
No, he was talking to us about the switcheroo.
Yeah,
have you guys heard? You guys haven't heard about this?
No,
okay.
what's this?
So the way that he explained it to us is that they're making they've got their whatever their hops that they use for that particular beer, and every batch that they make, they're going to switch out the hops for another variety. Yeah. So it's just going to have a different. Every batch they make will have a different kind of flavor profile, right? So it's I'm excited.
Cool. So it's always going to have the same name, but it'll be like the Switcheroo Ace hops or the Switcheroo whatever.
Yeah, something like that. But they have it out now because my sister went and she said she tried it and it was good. So
they're just like offering like tours like constantly. You just go in, or do you have
to
like,
it's not really a tour. You get in. They will have. And he surprisingly didn't talk about what he does for his. He didn't really talk about the process when you go there. No. Anyways, you you show up. They will have you try a sample of all the beers they have on tap. So usually have 4 or so on tap. They'll give you a sample of each one. Then you can buy a highball of each one. Okay, like a half pint, I guess, maybe. I'm not sure what size.
Yeah, highball's about a half pint. Yeah.
Yeah. So you have as many as you want. You buy them just like a regular beer. Just keep ordering them.
It's like a bar.
Yeah. And then or you can buy a growler and head out. But they are actually, they didn't show you this or talked about it, but they are developing a meeting room, which you'll be able to actually rent it, host a meeting there, and they'll have some taps in there with whatever beer you select.
And just get it.
Sounds like a great meeting.
Oh, yeah.
I went on the Steam Whistle tour, and you just get destroyed
whatever
by the end of it.
Whatever business has their meeting in there, I want to be working for them.
Oh, yeah. So my next question is, are we getting shares in Full Beard? Because we just literally talked them up so hard.
To be fair, they've given us a fair amount of beer now, or not given, but they.
Johnny, pony up, boy.
We've worked out.
They've hooked us up with some swag.
There you go.
They're awesome. the only beer company that's hooked us up with swag. How many beers have we reviewed on this show? And nothing but a Facebook like.
Nobody wants to be associated with you, crumb bums.
To be fair. And the free swag we got, Adam McIver got it. He asked for it. True. We didn't get anything. So our guest got a free hat. We didn't get it.
Well, good for him.
Good for him, eh? Nice guy. So that's another example of like cool people, cool local people doing cool local shit. We've had Chris and John on the podcast talking about the cool stuff that they've been doing.
Those guys are the worst. Anybody who works for them just must be retarded. Oh, wait.
That sounds about right.
Yeah, that's right. That's about right. Yeah, I worked last night.
So that's kind of where the origins of our podcast
We've talked about our origins, I think, a few times now. A couple different podcasts.
Yeah, and it always changes. I think it's like the legend of beer.
It's a different origin story every time.
He just changes it to suit his needs. Haven't you figured this out, Bossano? Come on, bud.
You gotta bullshit. Man.
And we also used it as a platform to talk shit on like local politicians.
Yeah.
No, I think you guys have done a good job with that, though. You've had Charlie on, which is amazing. I love Charlie.
He was awesome.
He's my favorite. I think that guy, you know what I mean? Even when he does wrong, he can do no wrong. You know what I mean? He's such a champion for the northern people.
Oh, Christ,
I love him. He's such a good politician. You know what I mean? You always hear those stories of, people who, I don't trust any politician. They're all crooks and liars and blah, blah. You know what I mean? You can literally shake Charlie Angus's hand and know that there's nothing but, positivity and actual genuineness, if that's a word, coming from him, right?
And get ready. I believe Saturday he will be announcing, in Toronto at one of his old local stomping grounds in Toronto, his candidacy.
I thought he was going to announce on our show
for the NDP leadership.
Leadership, yeah. He's probably because when we talked about it on our podcast, he was in Toronto. He had a homeless shelter, and he brought people in all that, and so a lot of his roots
amazing.
Are there.
Because I was really, really gonna vote for Kevin O'Leary to get in, and
but now you have another option. Well, Charlie was great.
Yeah,
he was awesome.
He's punk rock. Charlie is punk rock.
Well, he is.
I don't care what. You and I have had this conversation before. Charlie is punk rock to the core. And if you don't believe it, check him out. You know what I mean? Just Google Charlie Angus right now after you listen to the podcast, and you're gonna just be blown away by.
Yeah, you got to check out. Have you heard his band?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah,
that's
so
why
I've heard L'Étranger and
100%, man.
Grievous Angels. That was awesome. The first thing that Charlie Angus did when he walked into our basement, he just hands me a CD and he says, and it's like,
check out my demo, bro.
Charlie Angus and the Grievous Angels. And I'm like, that's the fucking coolest thing ever. Doesn't shake my hand, shakes my hand afterwards, obviously, but just hands me a CD and says, like this speaks for itself, you know?
You think you can get us on some shows?
Only a punk rocker would enjoy that as much.
He's like, yeah, you know, I'm doing this politician thing on the side, but this is my
real passion is punk rock.
I got this whole, member of parliament thing to fall back on, just in case.
Plan B, right?
But you're absolutely right in saying that, he's a guy who, at the very least, if he's putting on an act, it's a damn good one.
Oh, wow. Is he doing a good job?
Because he, at the very least, makes you feel like you're being heard.
Give him the Oscar now.
That he gives a shit,
Yeah, no, he's amazing. I mean, don't get me wrong. We've got some good politicians out there. There's, you know what I mean? It's a hard job. I've talked about this. We've talked politics a few times, and it's a tough job. It's a thankless job, especially when you're dealing with people's money, people's livelihoods, right? And I give all of them props, no matter whether they're doing a good job or a bad job. It's a hard job to do, right? So you can talk crap about them as all you want, but we're not the ones doing the work that they're doing. So
no, exactly.
And I mean, don't get me wrong, I'm just as guilty as anybody else who's what the heck kind of idiot move was that? You know what I mean? I've said a lot of stupid stuff about politicians, mostly local in our municipal, but you know what I mean? For the most part, like I said, I always try to take a step back after I say something stupid like that and realize it's a hard job for them to do.
Well, you didn't like the heated steps?
Yeah.
The heated steps at City Hall. I still don't get.
Have you seen? There was a guy who made a post at one point.
Yeah.
Because there was like a cone on one side, and he wrote, "The question here is whether or not to go shovel the steps."
We're waiting
unknown when it'll reopen.
Okay,
Unknown when it'll be reopened. I think it was a dig on like Algonquin always being closed as well at the same time.
The one thing about the city that I will say is that's the one workplace that really gets the scrutiny. Everybody anybody can sit there and point to the fucked up shit that goes on in their own workplace. Joel, I'm sure even sitting here in the working class, you can sit here and talk about all the fucked up shit goes on in here, right?
Yeah, while your boss puts a beer away behind you.
Nothing bad ever happens here at all.
He's giving us a stare down.
Not on my watch.
The patrons maybe sometimes are fucked up.
Yeah, that's about it. No, but just like stuff that you think about, it goes through your head and you go like, oh, fuck, I don't think that'd have been a great idea. But what are we saying here?
Oh, nothing.
Just tickling him.
Okay.
No, he just told me just don't talk shit about the working class. That's
Oh,
all.
okay. Yeah, no problem.
So keep talking shit about.
Keep talking shit about the working class.
In other words, let's just amp it up a little bit, boys.
Actually, we could probably get some more beers here.
Yeah, and actually, since that'll be a good segue, tonight.
That's 3, barkeep. I'm not done.
Jay's gonna tell us what we're drinking
Tonight we're drinking Mill Street Brewery original organic lager. I believe has been purchased by Molson. I believe
Labatt, my friend.
Labatt, sorry, the other Canadian beer company. All right, brewed by Mill Street Brew Pub. This 100% all-natural certified organic lager is Ontario's first organic lager and contains no pesticides.
Thank you very much.
Insecticides, herbicides, or chemical fertilizers. Yum. Brewed with imported malts, hops. This 4.2 European-style Pilsner offers a light, crisp, and refreshing flavor with a clean finish. It is 4.2, very low. We're looking for bitterness because there's no real bitterness on this one, but I can't find the stat on it. Anyways,
It's not very high.
No, not very high at all.
There we go. There's an official stat
It's
for
a
you.
German Pilsner.
I love it.
I have a question. Are they required to tell you where the hops are from, or the hops are from, or the malts? Because I don't see how imported malts is a selling point.
Imported? Oh, well,
In
it
any
could be
way.
imported from Germany. It's like, ooh.
You
imported from
know
Germany.
it's not imported from Germany, though, right?
Listen, a German Pilsner.
Could be.
Oh, it's
Could be
possible,
imported
I
from
suppose.
Taiwan.
I suppose.
Kenya,
They make-
anywhere.
Can they make hops and they grow hops in?
Are there malts in Kenya?
Kenya?
I don't know. Why
This
wouldn't there
is-
be? Why
we-
wouldn't there be, guys?
We were completely exposed last week when we said, you know what, we like to drink beer and talk while we drink beer, but we completely bullshit our way around knowing anything about beer.
I'm gonna be honest.
That's the bullshit
Yeah,
part.
exactly.
Like I tend to know like a little bit just because I've hung out with your cousin, and that guy there is a beer fanatic.
Well,
Because he
Jay will know
brews.
what I'm talking about here. That we have somebody to introduce you to. Then, if you're a beer expert, right?
I'm definitely not a beer expert, but you're talking about John, aren't you?
No. Sorry. Go ahead. I'll tell you afterwards.
No, I'm not a beer expert by any means. It's just that I've been around. The dude has been brewing like since he's, I don't know, 14. So that guy there, you know, he's
Oh man, yeah, and he's made some good
he
stuff
makes
too.
some quality beers.
Yeah.
The best beer I've ever had was actually his buddy who he taught how to brew.
Oh really?
So, yeah.
Has he done this in
Made
a
it with-
bathtub yet?
He's getting there. He's getting there.
The old Homer Simpson brew.
Yeah.
Actually,
I
his-
only trust beer that comes from a bathtub.
The beer baron. That's
The
what it was.
beer baron.
The beer baron.
I'll get you, beer baron.
No, you won't.
Yes, I will.
the old toilet swish.
I got a funny story about that. Well, one time on a drive to Sudbury, in order to pass the long 3-hour drive with nothing in between, me and a friend had objectively found out which was the funniest Simpsons episode, and we figured out that the Beer Baron episode was the absolute funniest Simpsons episode.
Ooh.
Can you say? Can you give an alternative?
Okay. I don't know if I'm gonna disagree there. It's a great episode,
It's the best.
but I'm really partial to Mr. Sparkle.
Oh,
It's
Isa Sparkle.
It's just so weird. You know what I mean? I don't know. I'm not like the hugest Simpsons. I love the Simpsons, but I'm not like I would never win a Simpsons trivia battle. You know what I mean? I wouldn't go up against your Chensky about it. You know what I mean? It's
fuck.
like there's
Chensky.
Yeah, I know.
He's all right. That's what I heard.
Yeah.
I heard that he was. This is when Punctual Alcoholics were on.
Dude,
They were saying that
Shenya
just
knows
it all.
he knows his Simpsons.
Oh fuck! I'll
Like-
go head to head with him.
Oh, for sure.
He'll just like throw out a reference at you in the middle of a conversation, and I'm like, huh.
Yeah.
I don't.
What was that from?
You,
You know, I have no clue.
awkwardly smiling. Yeah, I know
But he
what
was the
you're
one
talking
who
about.
didn't like Harrison Ford, was it?
No, he wasn't there.
No,
He
that
wasn't
It
was.
was.
Oh,
It
yeah,
was.
yeah,
They
yeah.
had mentioned it that he knew. Like,
He was just
would talk
really good
circles
friends with
around
all
him.
those guys.
Yeah.
That's where you're getting that correlation.
Yeah.
Well, we can move on to either some news and we can bullshit and yell at each other, or we can even do a bit of a game.
Let's do it.
Oh, let's do it. We doing Rotten Tomatoes? No, we're
No.
doing what is
TiVo.
it?
TiVo
TiVo.
trivia. So
Can I-
I'm not sure if you guys know what the game is, or if you guys
I do
heard.
not.
Okay, so what it is, I will kind of say the TiVo and or TV guide description of a movie, and then and then the first person to buzz in, quote unquote, with their name, gets to answer what that film is.
So we got to say Joel.
Yes.
Yeah.
And then I'm going to say
That's
the
okay.
name.
Go
Okay,
ahead.
sweet.
And then there'll be an example will be trying to think.
No points for this one.
Joel, Operation Dumbo Drop.
Very nuclear
Sweet.
nuclear radiated lizard wreaks havoc on Tokyo. It'd be
okay.
Godzilla, you know. So
Oh, I was going to say Operation Dumbo Drop again. Has anybody actually seen Operation Dumbo Drop? Can we just take a moment and just
Was Bill Murray in that movie?
no, or Dennis Leary.
No, Donald Glover.
Glover.
Donald Glover.
Donald Glover was in it. Who
How
else was in
old
it?
was he?
Oh, dude, this was like shortly after Angels in the Outfield. Do you remember that one?
Oh,
yeah,
you're talking
that was
about
Yeah.
Danny Glover.
Danny.
Okay.
Sorry, not Donald Glover.
Donald
Sorry,
Glover
Donald
is,
Childish Gambino.
Childish
Sorry, no.
Gambino.
Sorry.
Yeah.
Yes, totally mixing those guys up.
Okay.
Danny
Bullshit.
Glover. Sorry, Danny Glover.
Okay.
Yeah. There's the bullshit
Danny
portion
Glover.
there.
I was gonna say Donald Glover. I'm pretty sure
Yeah, Donald
Operation
Glover was
Dumbo-
in it. Yeah.
Dumbo Drop was
No, he was
like-
in it.
Okay, so
Yeah, it's Ray
baby.
Liotta,
He's the
Danny
baby.
Glover, and Dennis Leary. I was right. Dennis Leary is in it.
Dennis Leary's in
Yeah.
Operation Dumbo Drop.
Oh, nice.
So in this movie trivia thing, is there like there's no narrow down any sort of anything? It's just
Oh,
any
no.
movie
Oh,
at
no,
all?
no,
Just
no,
any
you gotta-
movie?
description and the movie.
Oh, there's
trivia-
a
like, is
theme.
it-
I
there's
think.
no like dates?
Trivia. This is. I'm going no
theme?
No theme. This is
Oh,
just
fuck.
random.
Random.
Wow.
We've done themes where we did. Sorry, beer.
We did it with Lindsay, eh?
Yeah, we did
Yeah.
It's like B
sports and
movies
hockey.
stuff too.
No, this will be all kind of A movies.
Okay,
or,
okay.
big enough budget ones. All right. Mathematician, genius, John Forbes Nash Jr. has paranoid psycho.
You're gonna have to read this better, Jay.
Joel, A Beautiful Mind.
You got it.
What the fuck?
2001.
Okay, he disqualified. All right.
All right. Sorry.
Gotta get on my A game
That was
now.
bullshit.
Somebody's fucking good.
Mathematician.
Mathematician should have been it.
And crazy right away.
Yeah.
Or what? Well, it wasn't crazy, but whatever you said.
Psycho something.
Psycho something or other. Yeah.
A parolee organizes a gang to steal $150 million from a Las Vegas casino.
Joel.
Ocean's
Ocean's 11.
No, it was
2000
actually Ocean's 12.
2011.
Sorry.
Was it
2001, Ocean's 11.
It was 11. It was.
Same story again, just with 12 people.
Shit. All right, so me and Eric, eh?
I haven't even said my name yet.
You guys just better forget your names by now.
Storm chasers finalizing their divorce try to place equipment inside a tornado. Corey.
Twister.
Twister, 1996.
Fuck yeah. Bill Paxton.
No, Pullman. You were going to go
I was
Pullman.
gonna say it.
You
I
were
was
going to go
gonna say
Pullman on
Pullman.
that
Can
one.
I use Rick?
Sure.
Yeah, sure.
It's a little shorter.
And you know what? And probably cuts a bit better than Eric.
Rick. Hey, Simpsons.
Rick
Grimes.
Grimy.
Yeah.
He likes it when I call him grimy.
All right. A 10-year-old whose body ages at 4 times the usual rate.
Joel, Benjamin Button.
Fuck.
Nope.
No. Joel.
For a normal...
Joel
no, you're
Jack.
gone now. You're out now. He's out now.
Okay, keep going.
What I just said.
4 times the
hear
usual rate longs for a normal existence.
Oh, Corey.
Go ahead.
Yes. Okay, Jack.
1996.
Robin Williams.
That doesn't count.
Not Robin Williams.
I was...
Hanks. Is it Hanks? Is
No,
it
it's
Hanks,
Robin
Jack?
Williams. No, Big is
Big
Hanks.
Hanks. Yeah.
I totally got
Whatever.
the opposite. Benjamin Button's the reverse.
Yeah.
And
I did not know that movie
Can I
at
get
all.
half
Yeah.
a point
Or
for
he
getting
starts off old.
Joel,
getting
you're already
literally
killing
the
us.
opposite of the movie? No, we're tied. Corey and I are tied now.
Are we?
Yeah.
Yep.
It's 2-2.
Okay, 2-2.
Oh, damn. I
All right, Rick. Get on this.
An unwitting man's life is arranged for him. Captured on him.
Corey.
Yep.
The Truman Show.
Truman Show, 1998.
How did you get that from that? That's a great movie, but
Captured on
I think
film.
you played this game before.
An unwitting man.
I think
That
he's
was
reading
surprise.
the screen that's turned right towards him. It's
Very
No.
possible.
He's got an ace up his sleeve.
Jay's dealing from under the deck.
A Top Gun pilot keeps up with his rival and recreates Hollywood love scenes with his girlfriend.
What?
A Top Gun pilot keeps up with his rival and recreates Hollywood love scenes with his girlfriend.
Is it
Top Gun?
Is that obvious?
What? What? And he recreates Hollywood love scenes with his girlfriend. I'm fucking lost. Can you... No, you can't give us a hint, eh?
1991.
Anyone know? It wouldn't be.
I
No.
wasn't born.
Really?
I haven't seen it.
Starring Charlie Sheen.
Joel, Hot Shots.
Shots, 1991.
That was way too much hints.
Yeah. That's good.
Way too many hints.
You know what? For some
Huge.
reason, I was thinking it was one of those parody.
Yeah.
I should probably speak into the mic, eh?
No.
You think this is my first...
Speaking into your
my
beer
first,
counts.
First podcast. All right, everybody.
In 2035, a Chicago homicide detective tracks a sophisticated robot accused of murdering a visionary scientist.
Corey.
Yep.
iRobot.
2004. All right, so guys.
Just getting competitive.
It's 4-3.
No, it is. Yes, it is.
4-3 and wait, what do I have?
Damn it.
That's a big fat goose egg, pal.
Doesn't even say his score.
Give me a
All right,
sec, give
next
me a
one.
second.
Let's not say anything. Let's encourage Eric.
Yeah, let's let Eric
Oh my god,
get
guys.
one.
Thank you.
Give me 2 secs here. Because it's too close. I want to have 2 more. I want someone to have a chance to tie it up and go for a tiebreaker.
Like, I need 4 more though.
This is a
Oh, no, you're-
this is
you're
a
out.
movie about
You're out. Yeah, then
Wow,
this
what-
foregone conclusion.
this is a movie about a bus that was speeding through town,
and
and it couldn't drop its speed below 50. And if its speed
I wouldn't have
dropped
got
below
that.
50, it would explode.
Operation Dumbo Drop. I knew that movie would be in this game.
This is going to be a huge...
No, they're giving me a chance, man.
Any movie that has a parachuting elephant.
Best friends. All right. Best friends. Join the war effort after the Japanese attack USA. Stationed on a Hawaii island of... Yes.
Pearl Harbor.
Yeah.
I was born on the same date as Pearl Harbor. That's the only reason I know.
There you go.
Oh, well then.
Give it up for Rick with the gimme.
Good job, Rick.
I feel good about myself now, boys. I think I'm going to play better tonight.
3 friends tried to recapture the fun of their college years by starting their own off-campus fraternity.
Corey. Joel. Old school.
Old school on 3. And McGee takes it.
Thank you.
5, 3,
It's not fair,
4.
man. You're like the host and
I had to like
rigged.
put my big boy pants on and really start hammering down on this there because
felt like
I knew there was a pro playing tonight.
Yeah, you got spooked on that one. I know. I saw how it went.
It's like, Jesus
Yeah.
Christ, a beautiful mind.
Yeah.
No shit, he's like the beautiful mind of TiVo trivia.
of movies.
We all know the intimidation was coming from this side of the table, okay?
I've literally watched everything, like the most obscure movies. Like I'll be hanging out with somebody and we'll do the whole like, okay, let's just find something on Netflix. Let's totally Netflix and chill with the actual let's Netflix,
actual
right?
Netflix.
And it's like, well, you want to watch that? Yeah, I just watched it. Or you want to watch it? Yeah, I've seen it. I've literally seen everything. I've watched so much stuff that I have to watch all the crappy
movies,
stuff
yeah.
that it's like I have no choice.
Does your daughter watch the same thing over and over again?
Oh, dude, my daughter, like, okay, it's not so bad with the shows. I can get through the Netflix, the kids shows, no problem. It's the YouTube videos that she'll sit there for hours watching kids open toys.
It's a thing now, eh?
It's the worst. Ryan's toy review. I hate this little kid. He's the most spoiled little brat.
Gets
His
everything.
Parents let him get away with murder, basically, and Charlie loves him.
Why? Because then she wants all the stuff that he
No,
gets.
not even. She just wants to watch Ryan open the damn
It's because
toys.
she feels as good as he does when he opens it.
I don't know what it
See,
is,
I
man.
thought it was great that my kid would watch Netflix, and I'm like, oh man, no toy commercials, none of that shit, right? And then he gets on the fucking YouTube, and then that's all it is. Now what he's been watching lately has been like a video of this sequence thing they do at Disney. Like somebody filmed on the whatever Enchanted Kingdom castle there. Like there's a whole fireworks show and everything, and he just sits there and watches that over and over again. And now, never mind buying the toys, he says, "I want to go to Disney.
Oh, nice.
I want to go see that castle."
Save your pennies, McGee.
All right, bud.
Yeah. Has he ever gotten into the YouTube videos where they just open surprise eggs for like literally an hour?
No,
Yeah.
thank God.
Yeah, I've been there. It's a traumatic experience.
Can I have my phone back?
Yeah. She's got her own iPad, right?
Yeah,
Well, it's my iPad, but it's her iPad,
Yeah,
right?
it's hers.
And yeah, it's
Kids commandeer shit.
Yeah, it's like, okay, I want to do the dishes, so here's your thing. And, and honestly, when I'm doing something around the house, I don't mind that she's sitting there. But it's when I'm done the dishes, then it's like, okay, it's time to, whatever, get washed up for dinner or whatever, right? I need her to, okay, let's put the iPad away. It's like, I literally just stabbed her first pet in front of her, and she's like, no! Yeah.
You know what? For kids that we weren't giving much credit, like we weren't giving them much credit on their cognitive abilities earlier, I think they're pretty smart. They got us figured out.
Oh, dude, I joke when I say my kid's retarded.
You know why,
my
though?
kid's smarter than heck.
The
It's
reason
crazy.
why is because they're programmable, and you programmed them.
We fucked them up, Joe.
Listen, iRobot over here.
No, I'm not saying it's a bad thing.
Yeah.
It's just that's how it is.
No,
right?
I know
Like their
I know what you
brains
mean.
are so malleable at that point that if you teach them a pattern, now I could have the iPad at this time, and then when I come to take it away, then it's like, well, the last time you let me have it, or like you do it once, that's it.
You should be like Super Nanny or something. That like.
Well, I've been working with kids recently, actually.
Oh,
I
yeah?
do supply teaching
Supply
in school.
teacher
so
over here.
You
Serious?
realize really quickly that, like, first of all, kids don't give a fucking shit about supply teachers, and second of all,
tell Peggy Hill that
they're just so used to having that same routine all the time.
King of the Hill reference, nice.
that
Dang old man.
No, it's true.
you go
It's
in
true.
there, you get stepped on. You're like, no, you can't do that. And they're like, well, the teacher let us do it. And I'm like, did they though?
Did they really? And now you're questioning yourself, and they
Exactly.
smell the blood, and they just go.
And they're like
sharks.
They're like sharks.
They're like 11, and you're like,
Little
okay, so I don't
tiny
know if you're
sharks.
actually lying or not, you know. And then you're like, it's like lunchtime, and you're in the teacher's lounge. You're like, hey, did the teacher let them do this? They're like, no. You're like, damn it, I got it wrong this time.
Lost
I used
another one.
I used to love
Yeah, exactly.
supply teacher day. I love
Like
it.
it's awesome. Don't get me wrong. It's just that's the thing. You get like they always try to pull a fast one. Like you said, they're smart, man. They're smart in the sense that like, oh, it's not the normal person, so we're just gonna go in there and say
Fuck with them.
whatever the hell we can try to say to try to make it seem like the teacher lets us do everything.
Oh yeah, and there's no fooling them at 11 years old.
Oh, no.
for sure.
Like I don't know. I can't see myself like. I guess the only interaction that I would have with 11-year-old kids is if I decided to like coach a hockey team or something.
Hanging out around the school. Just,
Not
hang
allowed.
out.
Not allowed to do that. You know,
Not allowed to
or
near
Chuck
a
E. Cheese.
yeah.
Supply teachers
Just kidding,
are like,
by the way. You know,
supply teachers are like the human equivalent of movie day for school, right?
True.
You know what I mean? It's really what it is. And no offense, no offense to you.
None taken, dude. It's glorified
But
babysitting. I get paid very
as
well.
far as
he says it. He says
as
it.
far as what the kids perspective
Yeah.
is, you know what I mean? Like I'm sure like you want to do a good job, you want to teach the kids too, but the kids are just like, I'm just gonna take advantage of this
It
mofo.
depends, right? Like sometimes you get into classes where they're great.
Yeah.
But I did a pre-K kindergarten recently, and you have how old's your kid?
He's going to be 4 in
Okay,
May.
and she's 4. Okay, so they're
Yeah.
about that age. Like they're gonna go in school soon.
Start school in September, eh?
Yeah.
So these kids here basically.
We can have a good cry right now
Like-
about it, Corey.
So you have one kid. How's that?
They grow up
I have
so
two.
fast. Yes,
You have two. Okay, you have two kids. The other one's
baby.
kind of a little. Yeah, she's a baby.
she's young.
But anyway, I mean, having one kid at that age, like I know Joel, like we try to get a jam session in or a vocal session in, and like about 80% of the time we're spending with Charlie doing whatever with Charlie because she's there, and that's all you have to do. Well, you have 24 of those kids in the same class. I mean, we had 4 adults that day, but it doesn't really.
They got 4 adults in a class of 24 kids.
That day, yes, because there was 2 teachers' aides, and there was one that was she's an educator because they put pre-K and kindergarten together.
Together now.
And so when it's nap time, the kindergarten kids don't get nap time. Only the pre-kindergarten kids get nap time,
Oh,
so they have to
so
leave
good
with
luck.
someone.
Okay,
So
yeah.
they leave with someone, and then but it makes it weird. Like there's this weird, and then you get there. Like usually I'm used to like, okay, you get there, all right, you got to work to do this, you do it, you walk around, you kind of help out. For these kids, it was like, okay, now you have to read to them, and you're reading to them, and there's one going over there, there's one over
just
there. They're
fucks
like,
off.
they're fucking around all the time, and it's like, you get here, and then everybody else starts freaking out as soon as you take the attention off the reading, because they're like, oh my god, he's not reading anymore. I guess it's not reading time anymore. So what should we be doing now? We should be probably playing like everybody else.
And you've lost your class, sir.
It just gets out of control.
Like I know,
Oh,
like there's a few, a few teachers.
Yes, well, a few.
A few.
Fuck.
One thing though is like it's how it's now in their collective agreements and whatnot. You cannot have more than 21 kids per adult.
Yeah.
Okay.
That is an insane thought. It's you have 21 kids or you have 22 kids. There are 2 adults in there being paid.
Yeah, but the one thing I
when
will
you grew
say
up,
to
you had
them-
like 30 kids.
No,
in
you
each class.
didn't.
I had
No,
30
you
kids
didn't.
in my
It
class.
felt like you had 30
Oh, yeah.
kids.
No, we had
Yeah,
30.
but you went.
We had
You went
30.
to the bad schools.
Yeah,
The
yeah.
bad school.
So
Well,
like,
we
where they
didn't-
had metal
sorry.
detectors in kindergarten. Like,
We were
Barbed wire fence.
St. Gerard.
No,
It
that was
rough.
actually prison.
Yeah, they just called it school.
Juvenile hall.
We had easily 25 or more. 25 to 30 all the time.
really?
You know
Then how? Okay, so there's one of two things or both things that could have happened. Either teachers are getting shittier or kids are getting shittier. I'm
with
gonna
kids.
say kids are pretty shitty.
You know what though? Oddly enough, like teachers college is 2 years now, so it's even harder because then they need 2 teachers in a class, but like they're hurting so hard for like supply teachers and stuff. I get called like 8 times in a night.
And I think they have to do more now.
Can I
Like-
take it one step further from what you said though? Kids aren't shittier. Parents are shittier.
Good point.
Kids-
yeah.
kids are the
Parents are
same.
making shittier kids.
It's because TV
Yeah.
sucks
No.
now. Because really, TV raised me.
How about
Absolutely.
though?
No. Well, and,
I turned out
well, and
fine.
think about it this way, right? Cost of living is astronomical. Look at the cost of renting a place in Timmins.
Yeah.
It's insane. I mean, you own a home, so it's
Toronto.
different.
Yeah,
It's insane.
expensive.
I rent right now. I'm a single father. it's crazy expensive to rent, and unless you've got a really, really good job in town, it's hard, right? So you think about it, a lot of these parents, even if they're still together, they're working a lot more than they used to. And it's long gone are the days of dad's gone to work, mom's home, and
not as much
she's taking care of the kids. Exactly. She's nurturing the kids. They're actually teaching the kids the difference between wrong and right.
So
kids are raising themselves nowadays oftentimes, you know.
Of the internet.
But I got to say, 80% of my friends, father and mother worked the entire time. Your parents both worked the entire time. My parents both worked the entire time. Mm-hmm. My dad was in a band. My parents both were Kinsman Cadets, so they volunteered on everything. They were never around. Like all I'm saying, TV racing.
Well, I mean, like your dad coached hockey and shit like that.
Yeah,
Chuck Norris, Delta Force.
See, I agree with you there, but I think I'm the point I'm trying to make more so is my mom worked too as well. My mom was single. I mean, I had a stepdad till I was about 20 or so, then they separated, but growing up I had two parents, right? Mm-hmm. So like they both worked, and I had the same type of upbringing as well. But when they were home, it was, you know what I mean?
They actually did.
They did things with us. They taught us. They parented us. Whereas now it's just there's no care, and there's a lot of younger kids.
Right, McGee, you're a shitty father.
It's too easy. It's too easy. That's the thing. The internet made things too easy, and the reason for that is because I was actually teaching at a school not too long ago, and I was walking in the schoolyard. I was doing I was out at recess watching the kids, and some kid said, "Can I walk with you?" I said, "Yeah, sure, whatever." And you know kids, they like to tell you their life story. So he starts to talk to me. And he says, "I'm really excited for next week because we got the day where we could bring our electronics to school." This kid's in grade 1. And I said, "What are you going to bring to school?" He says, "My phone or my iPad." That is a problem. There's a reason there. I'm not saying it's a problem for Joel's daughter. I see Joel with his daughter. He nurtures his relationship with his daughter very well. But the thing is that people,
especially when I'm smacking her around,
people see those iPods, those iPads, those phones as a free distraction and a free babysitting. Yep. So what they do is they just give it to them. And what happens a lot of the time is that you see kids asking their parents stuff or just asking questions like that, and their parents are doing the same thing. They're sitting there on their phones or just play with your iPad, just
leave me alone.
Exactly, leave me. Nobody has enough time to do anything, right? And we see it a lot more.
To be fair, my son asks a lot of ridiculous questions.
Yeah, but that's the age, man. That's the age.
I'm just kidding. Like sometimes I find myself at like a lot, and you could probably relate. But sure. I find myself at a loss for answers.
I know.
Like, why?
Some of the things that come out of their mouths.
Well, why is our house there? Or the one he asks me all the time is why we have our address. Like he'll be like, why is that what's the number of our house? I'll say that's the number of our house. Why is it that? I don't fucking know.
Because of its geographical position on the road.
And it doesn't matter what answer you give it.
The city gave it to us.
There's going to be a why afterwards.
Why did the city give it to us?
You know what the thing is too is I think a lot of times, and I mean maybe not so much for you and I, like we're in our 30s. You know what I mean? We're kind of in that more responsible parent thing. Even though we have a good time. We have our interests that keep us, You
had kids old enough to be responsible.
A lot of times, people having kids younger and younger. And I'm not talking about the teen mom type
in the north
deal
specifically,
but people are having kids younger, and they're having kids as basically accessories because their friends have kids. So, well, I gotta have kids. So because they got married, I gotta get married, and like.
I've said that before, and I felt like it was overly cynical.
No, I think it's true. I think it really is true. I think people do that. I think people have kids
because it's the thing to do.
Everybody else is doing it.
You might be right. Like I know some people who and then they don't realize ahead of time and plan. I'm going to make sure I have a kid by 25. It's like why?
Well, then they don't realize the ramifications of that, and they don't realize. Okay, well, Joe Blow and Cindy Lou are having a kid, so we got to. They have a kid, and it's like it's not just have a kid and boom,
take care of
it. There's a lot you have to do. And like you say, when you're tired and you got a lot going on, giving the kid the iPad for a couple hours is not really a big deal. But when you're really truly not nurturing the kid and teaching the kid and being a parent really sucks because it happens. I'd say a good 50-60% of the time now.
My question, what's the difference between giving your child the iPad, go in a corner, read this, get away, than being given being given the pile of X-Men comic books, go. Get away.
Huge difference.
I know one's reading, but hey, the other one has, you're doing dexterity, you're doing hand-eye coordination, some of these games. Some of them are learning, there's some of them are educational games.
I get
some
that.
Some are reading, like some kids will grab the iPad and go find those comic books on there. So, like, what is the difference between one and the other?
Because reading a book or reading a comic or something like that, and maybe I'm wrong, this is just my opinion, you have to use your imagination and your creativity a lot more to kind of get into the world of that. I'm a comic book reader.
Well, the one thing that I'll say about something like comic books or even books, there's an end to it. There's an end to it, and then you'll finish, and then what? Yeah. You got to go see mom and dad again. Yeah, there's always that forced kind of interaction. If you wanted to, you could give a phone to a kid, and
they'll have it for the rest of their life
and leave them alone for a day.
Yeah.
And as you bring them food, they won't even say they'll just be looking at it. And I think it's not necessarily, because that's always the excuse, right? It's like, well, it's an educational tool. Well, as long as it's being utilized that way,
I'm not saying that I think that you give your kid the iPad and walk away. I'm just asking.
No. I agree with you, and it's true, because like what you always hear is this. Well, they can play games on it, and this is what's great for it, and they can do their dexterity exercises. That sounds. That sounds like
I'll give you a dexterity exercise.
I still do my dexterity exercises every morning.
But it's this idea that it's going to replace mom, dad, kid time. Yeah. And if it does, then you got a problem.
And I've seen it so much, and this is kind of the sad part, is that working in classes where it's time to go outside for recess. Now, I've told kids so many times so far. I've only been working since January, but I've told kids so many, especially in grade 8. In grade 8, I always tell them, if anybody ever complains about recess, I tell them, look, next year you're going to get to Terrio or to wherever high school you're going, and you're going to get there, and when there's no recess, you're going to be like, what's happening? I'm not going outside. I'm just staying in class the entire time. What is this? And it's gonna suck. You're gonna hate it. But then usually in the later grades, they don't have a problem. But what's kind of the worst is that when you get into the younger grades, like grade 4 and 5, they have to go outside and they don't like it. They're like, it's so boring outside. And I'm like, that's the iPad. That's what's happening there. It's so boring outside.
It was so much better outside when we were kids.
Dude, road hockey, hide and go seek.
Know what I blame? Global warming.
Knock ginger. Yeah, global warming.
What are you talking about? That doesn't exist.
It's so shitty outside now.
Ask the Donald.
I gotta say,
global warming does not exist.
Like people say, or I have a reason why I think hockey, younger age hockey, is not at the caliber it once was. And my thing is, look at every schoolyard now.
Yep.
They do not every schoolyard has an outdoor rink. Before, almost every single schoolyard had an outdoor rink.
I used to play hockey outside. At
road hockey,
at Saint-Gerard.
You rarely see road hockey nowadays.
They had 2 rinks.
Yep.
Fort Mac had one.
I agree.
Every school had one.
Yep.
And now you're hard pressed to find one outside.
See, we were talking about like our kids going to school next year. I feel like it's going to be such a frustrating experience because I feel like they're just not allowed to do as much. And I could be wrong about this. Like, I feel like I have the perception that kids aren't allowed to do as much shit as we were allowed to do when we were kids, right?
Well, to be fair, when they're in pre-K and kindergarten, it's very, very, it's changed a lot.
I miss running with scissors.
It's very play-based now. So no matter what, they're going to get to do a lot of the things that they get to do at home amidst some learning here and there. It's not going to be like, sit down, get whipped with a ruler and just learn. But in terms of like later on, you're right. Because when you go outside nowadays, they don't do anything. They just stand around. There's no like, and there's the jungle gym and whatnot.
They just stand around.
There's the jungle gym and this and that, but like
just smoking.
There's like
so what you guys doing?
A couple people play with balls and stuff.
Talk about their anxiety.
Like a math class next. What do you got?
Picked up some booze from my dad's locker.
You want a little hit of my flask here?
Yeah,
but that's the thing. Like I said, there's no more hockey outside. There's no more. Like you kind of got to and because the state of imagination is declining because of what we have access to, which basically because it's so entertaining all the time, you don't need to think to watch that kind of stuff. Then they go outside, and what are they going to do? Like sure that you got some that play tag. That's cool. Like at least they're doing something. But most everybody else is just like, hanging out. They're kind of just.
See,
I know how to fix this.
What's
I
that?
know how to fix this, and they are doing it in the great state of Iowa. I'm not sure if you read up on this yet.
I got a feeling this is going to be something funny.
No.
That's true?
Now, this is absolutely true. One of the governor, I believe it is, of Iowa is bringing forth a motion, or it might be a senator, or a state senator, that there should be a political test for every higher level educator. So, like, if you want to teach at university or college, you have to declare what political party you're affiliated with, because there should not be more than a 10% gap between Republican or Democrat as educators in a school, because schools are breeding ground for these lefty liberals who are ruining our kids.
The worst.
And then
The
they're going
worst
out
of the
and ruining
worst. I'll
our
tell you
kids.
why I have a problem with that, and it's not for the reason that you think. It's clearly ridiculous, because I feel like people are starting wisely, might I add, to not adhere to these like political parties. They're more issue to issue, right?
Yeah, they're more nonpartisan than before. Yeah,
and you don't have to be like you don't have to call yourself a conservative and have to adhere to everything on the Conservative Party's platform. Mm-hmm. It's from issue to issue. How do you feel about this? How do you feel about that?
That's
like
right.
Jesus Christ, like there's no reason why you have to be placed, pigeonholed. I'm going to use that term
Pigeon-held?
again. Pigeon-held.
I love holding pigeons.
Pigeonholed into a political identity for your entire life, So
Yeah,
But
I don't
I
know.
just think that was actually on the news yesterday. I was listening to that, and I thought it was pretty ridiculous.
well, of
Think
course
about it.
it's
So
ridiculous.
You have a political test. You're not allowed to have a religious test for any job. You're not allowed to be asked, and you cannot be discriminated on. You can't do it for
Sexuality
marital status, all that
that's
stuff.
coming with the Donald.
Oh, yeah.
that's coming.
Amen.
I think it's funny how that they're implementing something like that, but what do they call it? Not the minister, sorry, but the Secretary of Education that he appointed is just a crackpot.
Mm-hmm.
Like, she doesn't even have any right doing her job.
She's in charge of public schools and never attended or had her children attend a public school.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Perfect.
Did you say the Secretary of Education has no right to the job?
Well, not no right, but she's really just like
So
She's
how
not
about
suited for the job.
So how
yeah.
about the Donald?
Hey, he won.
that's a
born
bigger
in the
fish to
United
fry,
States.
bud.
Born in the United States.
He's a natural citizen.
Naturalized
Immigrant
citizen,
wife.
And it doesn't matter about wives. There's nothing there about wives.
Oh, that's
or
right.
spouse.
Women, yeah. Fuck
Nothing
them.
about nothing about spouses. Just born in the United States and one electoral college. That's all you need.
Yeah.
You need nothing
Simple
else.
as that.
You can have a
Wow.
criminal record as long as you want. You can have whatever you want. There's nothing barring you. Which that's the American dream.
to be president.
Wow.
That's such a shitty
No,
job,
it's to have
though.
the opportunity.
To think
Yeah.
about it,
Yeah.
if you think about it,
It's
like,
just a joke of a job now.
The president makes what? I think it's like $400,000 a year.
Something like that.
He makes $400,000 a year. That's way less than Donald Trump was making.
He makes like
when
$400,000
when he
just for waking
yeah.
up.
Like, one, you'd want to ask yourself,
Yeah.
like, why the fuck would
Yeah, there's
anybody
something
want
else.
that job? First of all,
the reason
hours
why-
worked. Okay, hours worked. Like what minimum wage in Ontario right now is $11.40 an hour. Like you're president of the United States 24 hours a day, right? So you're working how many hours a week? And
Well, to be fair, he's been in his private club most of the time, and he's played
Very
golf
good
X
point.
amount of times, which he said, "I'm never going to do that." Obama
Goddamn
was
Obama.
Goddamn, and meanwhile,
He was the
he's
worst.
there the whole time doing it. Fucking idiot.
But think about it though.
Wait,
okay,
black people
in
are allowed to play
theory-
golf?
It's some courses.
Oh, okay.
Some courses. Tiger Woods.
That's
everyone.
coming as well.
Yeah, it's crazy.
No,
I mean, it
it's
must
nuts.
be nice, obviously, right? And I mean, the thing is you hope. I mean, you look at like Senator Elizabeth Warren, and there's Bernie Sanders. You hope that more and more people will come out of the woodwork to kind of like challenge these buffoons.
Oh, fuck.
But you know what I mean? There's only unfortunately right now there's only a few of them that are just not letting them get away with stuff. I mean, have you seen some of the Senate hearings with
That's
Elizabeth
fucking-
Warren? It's glorious. Like
Yeah.
she just roasts these people, and
Well,
I love it.
Some of these people are. Well, the one is what is it? Secretary of State Rex Tillerson. He was Exxon
ExxonMobil,
CEO for ExxonMobil.
Oh, fantastic.
And
I didn't even know
no, you didn't know that.
No.
Massive ties to Russia.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Perfect.
A lot of issues.
Actually,
there, right?
he got an
no
award
conflict of interest
of
at
the
all.
Friend of the Russian Federation or something like that award.
He's
whatever,
also a Boy
before that.
Scout.
Is that an
There you
award?
go.
Is that a real thing?
Oh yeah.
The
He's
Friend
also
of the
a Boy
Russian
Scout.
Federation Award?
Something
He
like
can-
that.
he
What
can
about
tie
China? Is there a
knots.
friend for China?
The People's Republic, I don't think, are much on giving stuff away.
It's fucked up.
You know what's
What's going on?
crazy?
it makes me glad that I don't live there.
Yeah.
Oh.
You know what's
That's
going-
basically what it does to most Canadians.
Yeah.
I was just thinking about the People's Republic China. Anytime a country has the People's Republic or a democratic republic, usually
not
they're-
a democracy.
They're not democratic or about the people. That's usually.
Is it kind of the equivalent of saying I have black friends?
It's like my best friend's black.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah,
man.
after you just drop the N bomb with a hard R, right?
I'm allowed.
Yeah,
I have
that's right.
friends.
I have a black friend.
Oh,
Yeah.
you went.
That's
Oh,
right.
you went
Yeah.
hard R. What movie is that from? Or that? Where he says like, you went there, right?
You went
hard
hard
R,
R, yeah.
hard R and everything.
Yeah, that's recent actually.
Well, guys, I think we're about ready to wrap this thing up here because I think doors are going to open in about 25 minutes.
Yeah, I got to
You
go do
guys
my
stoked?
job. I'm so pumped. I mean, we've been working hard to get to this day, and like we're really, really excited to play.
That's where the well-oiled machine
Hopefully,
sounds from.
hopefully
comes
we
from.
don't screw up because apparently we're a well-oiled machine. But I think there might be some squeaky wheels. But it's okay. We're gonna be great. I think it's gonna be so much fun. We're playing with some really, really good local bands, Punctual Alcoholics.
One really good local band.
Yeah, LaForge doing an acoustic set. I mean, show up a little later. You don't want to
Might wanna
catch
miss
them. Yeah, no, it
I
was.
fucking love them.
We're pumped. I mean, it's, you know what I mean. We've been around this scene, right? So it's not like we're playing with anybody new. We're all friends. We're all bros. We've all been kind of around each other for a long time. So
We got a lot of. I have a lot of like good buddies coming out. I'm really excited just because. Because of the first show, I was able to kind of rope a lot of people who usually don't come out. They're like, "Oh, it's a first. I will definitely come."
We'll come support you.
I won't come
So-
back again.
They'll
but-
watch and then they'll go
Yeah.
like, "That was great."
Those songs were good. Do you have to do so much screaming?
This is one thing that when we were talking about your music at the starting of the podcast, I was thinking about when you're describing it, and I'm like, you know what? A whole bunch of people who listen to the podcast aren't like, don't have such a discerning ear when it comes to like
Yeah.
punk
It's gonna
music.
sound like-
So to them, it's a bit like, oh, it sounds just like Bad Religion.
You know what I thought was kind of funny?
That's exactly
about
who
that?
we sound like.
The-
Go figure.
The 92.1 Rock thing. That's why I posted that picture of me with the face because that was so true. Like during that, I felt so like I didn't feel bad in any way because we did do a good job and I found it was a fun time. I really had a good time doing it, but it was misleading. It really was. Like there's like every part that was screaming in the song, we turned into an epic harmony part in the song, acoustics, and then all our family and friends were like, "Wow, you guys are so good! Like, awesome! My nephew is awesome!" And then like I had like 3 of my aunts comment. Which I'm like, "Wait till you hear the real shit."
Oh, my mom.
You're gonna hate it.
You're gonna hate it.
My sister commented. She sent me a text, and I know it was like it just felt like it was my mom talking to me because I knew my mom was probably with her watching it, and she sent me a text of, "Oh, you know what? You're such a good screamer, but I really wish you would do more songs like that."
Oh, man.
I was like,
Okay,
just like,
Mom.
yeah, I was like, yeah, okay. I mean, don't get me wrong, it was fun. We love it. I mean, I like singing. I sing
sing a
in
lot.
church,
You
right?
sing a
So
lot here.
yeah, so like, I mean, I love singing, but I like intensity. I like
Like
going
loud music,
crazy.
aggressiveness.
aggressive.
Yes.
You know what I mean? So there you go.
That's what I think is
Yeah,
gonna
we're
stand
pumped. It's
out.
going to be a great night, and we're really happy. We're really, really happy you guys had us on. It was really fun.
Yeah,
I thought it
had a
was
good time.
something that I've been listening to the podcast ever since you guys started, and I love it. I enjoy it every time, and I've just been like waiting for that day.
Waiting for the call.
Corey's gonna call. Corey's calling. Get us on the Corey show. Corey featuring Jay.
Yeah, exactly. I'm gonna be honest. Like one of the parts that I like the most is when Jay talks, because you can
So
tell
he doesn't like much of it then.
So silky smooth.
he relishes every moment. Like he gets in there and he's like, "Yeah, I don't know if he just like he gets, and it's just so nice."
I got the mic. I get to talk. Yeah.
You know?
You know what
Jay's
your
got a
voice
lot of
reminds me of?
gravitas.
Have you seen the Saturday Night Live skit with Pete Schweddy? The Schweddy
Sweaty
balls.
balls. Yes.
That's how great
Sweaty
your.
balls.
I love that skit. So yeah, every time I hear your voice, I just think of Alec
Sweaty balls.
Baldwin talking
balls.
about sweaty balls. I love sweaty balls in my mouth.
Well, on that note, we're very, very happy to have you guys on. We're
Thanks,
really
guys.
stoked to hit the stage tonight. We're gonna have some fun. And I think we're gonna have a pretty packed house too. So
let's hope so.
Yeah, we're gonna have some fun.
Check out Featherweight on social media. Don't worry about beer and bullshit. Just check us out.
Yeah,
don't worry about those guys.
Don't check out beer and bullshit.
They don't need any help.
So they can check you guys out. You guys are on Facebook and your Bandcamp page. Anywhere else on social media?
Working on it.
Yeah, we're working on. We're gonna get an Instagram page. We're gonna get all that kind of stuff.
We're working on getting our tunes.
Let us play our first show, Corey. Come on, man.
Well, we actually are working on getting our tunes on Spotify and iTunes.
Nice.
And just it's like
we'll be
just
everywhere.
to get out everywhere. And
you won't be able to get rid of us. we're like a nasty virus.
And a
well-oiled machine at the same time.
All the recipe for a pandemic.
We're like AIDS. We don't go away.
Wow.
Unless you're Magic Johnson.
So that said, Jason, do you have anything to take us out on tonight?
Oh, I got nothing at all.
You got nothing?
Well, I didn't really research anything.
Well, I can give us a cheers then.
Then give us a cheers.
I never play us out.
Yeah, give us something.
All right, so here's to the kisses we've snatched and vice versa. Cheers.
Cheers, boys. Thanks for having us on.